If someone's looking to build a business to sell, which I do recommend, I always say plan early and plan often because we sold a little bit over 2,400 businesses at this point. We're about to hit 2,500, and it's very common where a seller doesn't understand what they're worth, like what their valuation is, and they come to us and they're like, "Oh, I thought it was worth a lot more than this," which is very, very common. And by that time, there's like not a lot we can do to like help you get to where you actually thought you were in terms of your valuation. So it's often better to hit up an M&A advisor like us, like sometimes like a year or two before you're ready to sell. Like if you're just starting out, like, don't reach out to us just yet because you're too new. But once you start making some money, start scaling, all that kind of stuff, if you kind of have an exit in mind, then our team often will help you tell you like, okay, these are the numbers you need to hit to kind of get that valuation.
Awesome. Yeah, that kind of leads into a good point because I also often hear people throwing out wild multiples that are just,
Yeah,
in my opinion, pretty
very common.
inaccurate, especially with where the market's at certain points. What's a good way, just from like a high level, for them to gauge what multiple or what types of multiples that specific business model they're running could potentially be sold for? And like, I guess, where do you typically recommend they do that research if they're not ready to talk to an M&A advisor yet?
Sure. So, I mean, obviously, there's marketplaces like ours. You can see what we're selling businesses at. I'd say we tend to be a lot more realistic than a lot of brokers with who like demonstrate their pricing. So, one of the issues is there's a million different ways to do evaluation, right? I have friends that say we price too low, but they're also getting their advice from investment bankers that are dealing with 30, $40 million deals, which is a completely different multiple, range of multiples we're talking about there, right? So if you want to sell a small business, like a micro business to small business, typically the valuation ranges are going to be between 1 and 4x of your SDE or EBITDA. So your profit, basically, your last 12 months of profit. That's very normal range. Most businesses will sell between like 2.9 to 3.1 as long as they're like a high quality business. If you want to get up to 4x, which is more, on the exceptional end of that range, then you need to be able to justify that like actually have an exceptional business. Now, there's a few caveats to that. Like software businesses can break that 4x easier than a lot of other business models.